Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our technical English lesson. Sports data part 1. We have two objectives in this lesson. The first is to answer 3 questions about the Tour de France race after reading a blog. This is French. It is pronounced as Tour de France. Number 2 is to identify different sports data by reading a text about the Tour de France. What can you see in this picture? That's correct. Cyclists in a road bicycle racing. What do you know about the Tour de France cycle race? It is a bicycle race that is held in France every year. It has many stages and lasts for days. How long do you think is the route? How many days does it take? What do you think cyclists need to measure when they train for a race? I'm sure you'll want to find out the answers to these questions. The good news is you have the answers in a blog from a member of cycling team on page 68 of your course books. But before we start reading, let's take a look at some words that may be new to you in the blog. Repeat after me. Measure. Measure. Cyclists. Cyclists. Odometer. Odometer. Tachometer. Tachometer. Barometer. Barometer. Altimeter. Altimeter. Wheel rim. Wheel rim. Scale. Scale. Now let's take a look at the meanings. Measure is to find the size, length, or amount of something using standard units. Cyclists refer to people who ride bicycles. Odometer. I'm sure you've seen something like this somewhere, probably in your cars. Odometer is an instrument that shows how many miles or meters a vehicle has traveled. Tachometer is a piece of equipment used to measure the speed at which the engine turns. Barometer is an instrument that measures air pressure. Altimeter is an instrument that tells you how high you are above sea level. Wheel rim is the outer edge of a wheel holding the tire. Scale is a machine for weighing people or objects. You need to take time to study these words. We'll be using them in this lesson and the next. Now we are ready to find out the answers to our questions. Open your course books to page 68. Pause the video, read the blog, and find answers to the questions. Okay, now let's check our answers. Number 1, the route is 3,553 kilometers long. Let's look at where we got the answer from. It's here. Number 2, it takes 20 days to complete. And this is where we got the answer here. And number 3, when they train for a race, they need to measure the distance they travel, their speed, their altitude, and the atmospheric pressure. And we got this from this part of the text. Now, let's move on to task 3 on page 69. It says, answer these questions on the text. So we have 3 more questions that we need to answer from the text. Now, pause the video and read the question. So we have number 1, what instruments provide data to measure? Number 1, how fast am I cycling? Number 2, how far have I cycled today? Number 3, how high am I above sea level? Number 2, when you inspect the tires, the quick release levers, the saddle, the wheel rims, what problems are you trying to prevent? This means that what problems are you trying to prevent when you inspect these things? Number 3, a cyclist has completed 520 kilometers in 2 days of cycling. Should he or she test the gears now? Now, for each question, you need to look at the keywords. Think of possible words that can be used to replace these words. We know that for this one, we are looking for instruments that measure, number 1, how fast. Now, for this number 1, how fast is our keyword. Can you think of any word that can replace how fast something is moving? Yes, that's correct, speed. So, knowing the synonyms of your keywords can help you find answers easily, as the word in the text may not be exactly the same as the one used in the question. So now, to answer these questions, you need only this part of the text. So we'll do number 1 together, and then you do the rest. So our answer is tachometer, and we find it here. So do number 2 and number 3. Okay, let's check. Odometer, altimeter. I hope you got that correct. And this one too, we'll do number 1 together, and our answer is accidents. We got that from here. And do 2, 3, and 4. Let's check. The wheels falling off, the rider slipping down off the saddle, and number 4, the brakes from slipping. I hope you got all this correct. And the last one, yes, he should, from here. All right, to summarize, we have answered some questions about Tour de France cycle race. We have also seen some measuring instruments and what they measure. In our next class, we will look at how to ask questions about these instruments. Thank you for watching. Please remember to log into your accounts on Teams and do the exercise about this lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.